Have you ever stopped to think about which Akatsuki member is the strongest or the weakest? At first, it might seem easy to answer, but when you start looking in depth, you realize it's not that simple. The answer changes depending on the context, the opponent, and even the point in the story. Today, we're going to build the ultimate ranking, from the least powerful to the most devastating, analyzing feats, unique abilities, weaknesses, and the impact each member had on the narrative. It's not just about who would win in a one-on-one fight. It's about understanding the true weight each ninja carried in this legendary organization. And here's a warning. Some names will appear much lower than you expect, and others will be surprisingly high. 10th place, Zetsu. Starting at the bottom, we have Zetsu. And here comes our first controversy. In terms of raw combat power, he's the weakest in the Akatsuki. But when it comes to behind-the-scenes influence, he might actually be the most dangerous. Zetsu was literally two entities in one. White Zetsu, created from the chakra of the god tree, and Black Zetsu, the physical manifestation of Kaguya Otsutsuki's will. White Zetsu was the perfect spy, infiltration, camouflage, cloning, and even copying appearances. But his offensive abilities were far below the rest of the group. Black Zetsu, on the other hand, was pure manipulation. He deceived Madara, tricked Obito, and set the fourth great ninja war into motion. While others were out destroying villages and facing Keiga, he was planting the seeds for Kaguya's return. On the battlefield, he's unimpressive, but in manipulation, he's next level. Place, Heiden. Heiden is virtually impossible to kill, but that doesn't make him invincible. His technique, granted by the cult of Jashin, is brutal. Land a single hit, collect a bit of blood, and through his ritual, any damage he inflicts on himself is mirrored onto the enemy. The problems? He's slow, he has no long-range jutsu, and he needs direct contact to activate his curse. On top of that, his arrogance is a major weakness. His fight against Shikamaru proved it, even with immortality. He was tricked, trapped, and buried alive. Sure, he'll live forever, but that just means an eternal prison if someone immobilizes him. 8th place, Conan. Conan is easily one of the most underrated Akatsuki members. Her paper ninjutsu allowed her to transform her body into thousands of razor-sharp sheets, create weapons, and even fly with paper wings. Her masterpiece strategy was the trap of 600 billion, explosive tags against Obito, one of the most insane preparations in the entire series. But her weakness was clear. Her power peaked when she had time to prepare the battlefield. Conan wasn't just a fighter. She was Nagato and Yahiko's right hand since the original founding of the group. Her loyalty ran so deep that she chose death over betraying her ideals. 7th place, Didara. For Didara, art is an explosion wasn't just a catchphrase, it was a philosophy. With his explosive clay molded by mouths on his hands, he could create anything from tiny, insect-like bombs to massive creatures, capable of wiping out entire villages. His battle against Gaara showed how dangerous he was, combining patience with deadly precision. His arsenal ranged from C1, small scale, to C4, a microscopic attack that destroyed targets at the cellular level. His ego, however, was his downfall. Obsessed with defeating the Sharingan, he made fatal mistakes against Sasuke. Still, Didara went out with a bang, literally, choosing self-destruction over admitting defeat. 6th place, Cesori. Cesori of the Red Sand was a puppet master like no other. He could control over 100 puppets at once and even turned human bodies, including the third Kaza cage, into deadly weapons. His poison was lethal. Even a scratch could be fatal. He turned his own body into a puppet, leaving only his human core, which made him incredibly durable. But his overconfidence cost him dearly. Against Chio and Sakura, he underestimated their teamwork and experience, and it led to his defeat. Against opponents with no prior knowledge of his abilities, however, Cesori would be a nightmare. 5th place, Kisami Hoshigaki. The monster of the hidden mist was more than brute strength. He was calculated and strategic. With Samahata, he could absorb chakra and regenerate, and his chakra reserves rivaled those of a tailed beast. His fight against Killer Bee showed just how relentless he could be. He could flood the battlefield and trap enemies inside massive water prisons, draining their chakra until they collapsed. Kisame's loyalty to the Akatsuki was unshakable. He chose suicide over revealing their secrets. A warrior who combined raw power with battlefield control.
Fourth place, Kakuzu.
Kakuzu was the kind of opponent you had to kill 5 times to make sure he stayed down. Thanks to his Earth Grudge Fear technique, each of his 5 hearts had a different elemental affinity, making him extremely hard to defeat. He was a veteran of countless battles, even surviving a fight with the first Hokage. His masks allowed him to attack from multiple directions at once, combining brutal force with sharp tactics. With Heiden, they formed a near-immortal duo, but he eventually fell to Naruto's newly developed Rasen Shuriken, one of the few attacks capable of destroying his hearts completely. Third place, Itachi Uchiha. Itachi was the silent genius of the Akatsuki, even while gravely ill. His mastery of the Sharingan and Mangekyo Sharingan was unmatched. Tsukuyomi, Amaterasu, and Susanoo armed with the Yata Mirror and Totsuka Blade. What made him terrifying wasn't just his power, it was his mind. Itachi rarely fought at full strength. Most of his battles had hidden purposes, manipulating events without anyone realizing it. If he had been healthy, he could have challenged for the very top of this list. A perfect balance of intelligence, skill, and sacrifice. Second place, Pain Nagato. Pain was the embodiment of destruction. With the Rinnegan, he controlled the 6 paths, each with a unique, deadly ability: gravity manipulation, chakra absorption, summoning, controlling bodies, and even resurrection. His attack on Konoha remains one of the most iconic moments in the series. With a single Shinra Tensei, he wiped out almost the entire village. Defeating him required both overwhelming power and uncovering the truth behind the 6 paths. Until his secret was revealed, Pain was practically unstoppable. First place, Obito Uchiha. Obito was the ultimate puppet master. With Kamui, he could become intangible, teleport parts of his body, and send enemies to another dimension. He manipulated Madara, deceived the Kage, and started the 4th Great Ninja War almost single-handedly. As the Ten-Tails Jinchuriki, he reached a power level few could even imagine. Obito was both the mastermind and the executioner of the Akatsuki's plans, and at his peak, arguably the most dangerous shinobi in the entire series.